Good morning, class 11th, and congratulations, dear students, for your best results. You people have made the school and your parents proud, even the teachers' children. They are very proud of you people. Now, today, in your English class, we will begin with Act 1 and Scene 1 of The Tempest. Now, already I have explained and I just talked about the characters, children. The main characters, you have come to know that we had Prospero, the rightful Duke of Milan. Then we had Antonio, his brother, the usurping Duke of Milan. Then there is this King of Naples, Alonso. Ferdinand is Alonso's son. Sebastian, he is the brother to Alonso. Then we have Gonzalo, an honest old counselor. Then we have Adrian, Francisco, they are the lords. Trinculo, a jester. Stefano, a drunken butler. He is the master of a ship. Then we have the boatswains and mariners. Caliban, you all know, a savage and deformed slave. Miranda, beautiful daughter of Prospero. Then we have Ariel, an airy spirit. Then we have so many different spirits, children, like Iris, Ceres, Juno, nymphs, and reapers. All these are the characters or dramatis personae. Now, we begin with Act 1, Scene 1, which is the most important scene of this play, The Tempest. As we had in Merchant of Venice, children, the first act and Scene 1, it just paid way to the next plot. About we audience or the we readers were so curious and anxious to know about what is there, what comes the next. So, and it was the scene which introduced the main character. Here too, children, Act 1, Scene 1, most of the characters will be introduced in this act. And the play opens with a shipwreck. It opens on board a ship at sea in the midst of a fierce storm. It is a noisy scene. When we will go through, children, Scene 1 is a small scene, and you will love to understand this very scene and read the scene. It is a noisy scene. The storm is driving the ship ashore, and you will find, children, The Tempest, the title of the play, here in this first very scene. The passengers are on board are distinguished personalities. They include Alonso, the King of Naples, Sebastian, his brother, Antonio, the usurping Duke of Milan, Ferdinand, the son of Alonso, Gonzalo, an honest old counselor, and others are there, children. A furious storm is blowing together with the noise of thunder and lightning. There seems to be no hope of survival. Most of the passengers are screaming and shouting in desperation. The storm, representing chaos, violence, and disruption, gives the play its title, The Tempest. The storm is driving the ship ashore. The captain of the ship tells the boatswain to inspire the crew of the ship to be alert and to fight the storm. The boatswain is going to give his orders when Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Ferdinand, Gonzalo, and others royal passengers of the ship appear on the deck. You all know the deck of the ship, they all are there. They have just experienced the storm now, very, very strong storm. They are all scared. Alonso, the King of Naples, he speaks to the boatswain. He wants to know the whereabouts of the captain of the ship. The boatswain does not have the time to respect royalty when the ship is in the midst of such a terrible storm. Now, in this scene, children, you will be seeing how the captain, the boatswain, they are commoners, children. Commoners are there, and the royal people are there. The king, the their son, their brothers, all are there, and how they are treating the common people, the worker class. So it just tells about how at that time, children, these ruling the people, those who were ruling over the common people, how they were treating them. Alonso, the king of Naples, he speaks to the bosun, but the bosun, he just does not have the time to respect royalty when the ship is in the midst of such a terrible storm. He says, "What cares these roars for the name of king? So just please, I have to be very alert, very perfect with my captaincy. I have to just take you out from this very big storm." He orders them to return to their cabin, since they are merely being a hindrance to the crew's effort in saving the ship. They are disturbing them, and the whole crew, they are just they want to save their ship from drowning. After that, the bosun totally ignores them, despite the cursing by Sebastian and Antonio, who are not satisfied with the sailors' attempt in saving the ship. Though equally fearful of sinking, Gonzalo, the honest old counselor, makes light of the situation. He just tries to lighten the situation by saying that the bosun is so rude, he must be destined to be hanged. So he mocks at the bosun, and he keeps on saying that he is so rude that he should be hanged. Thus he is not likely to be drawn with him aboard. The ship is safe. But this half-hearted joke doesn't calm anyone. In fact, by this time, the passengers, they are deserting the ship for the open waves, and Gonzalo's last words, "I would fain die a dry death." He wants to reach to the land, and he wants to die there instead of dying in this stormy sea, this ocean. He is so scared. Hold out little hope for their survival. So this is a boisterous scene, children, with noise and confusion, and it is a dramatical spectacle. It is designed to catch the audience's attention and keep them in suspense as they wonder whether or not the ship will make it through the storm. We people, like in Merchant of Venice, children, we people are in suspense whether they will come out of this very big strong storm and the tempest. So we begin with scene 1, and each dialogue, each line we will come to understand, children. On board a ship at sea, a storm with thunder and lightning. Enter master and bosun. The captain and the bosun, children. Now the master says, "Bosun, the commander of a merchant ship." Master is the commander of a merchant ship, and bosun, an officer on a merchant ship. So bosun answers, "Here, master, what cheer? What is your pleasure? What do you want?" Master, that is the commander of a merchant ship. "Good, speak to the mariners. Fall to it early, or we run ourselves aground. Bestir, bestir." So the master says, children, that good sir, speak to the mariners, go and speak to your sailors, and start doing your work. Fall to it early, or we run ourselves aground. We will be the ships getting stuck in the sea where the water is too shallow. Now, in some part of the sea, children, deep sea, we see some part, suddenly it happens that it just becomes very shallow. The sand, they have been accumulated there, they are deposited there, and that part of the sea, it becomes very shallow. Like, children, in Merchant of Venice, we had the Goodwins. We had the Goodwins in the near this English Channel, children, and the people, they were in the Rialto, they were thinking that Antonio's ship, it has been shipwrecked there. The same thing happens here too. He says, the master says, that is the commander of a merchant ship, he's saying, good, speak to the mariners. You go and tell your mariners, that the sailors, that they should start doing the work. They should just try anyhow to go for promptly. They should start doing their work, and the ship's getting stuck in the sea where the water is too shallow. So just go for doing your work as fast as you can, as quick as you can. Then he said, arouse, arouse. Bestir, bestir means arouse. You all together, children. He just wants that all the sailors, they should come for they should start their work now, all together. Enter mariners. So all the sailors, they are there, children. They enter. Bosun, that is an officer on a merchant ship. Hi, hey, my hearts, cheerly, cheerly, my hearts. Yeah, take in the topsail, tend to the master's whistle. Now you have heard, children, some of the captains and all, children, on the boat, whenever they are sailing, they just keep on cheering, just encouraging their sailors to sail properly, to just control the ship. So he too, he just, hey, is a form of encouragement, and he shouts. And that is cheerly, cheerly is a cry of encouragement, heartily, all together. My brave sailors, my hearts means my brave sailors. Yeah, take in the topsail. You should go for my brave sailor. Just quick. Air means quick. Just go for the topsail. You should go for your topsail, means the sails are there, children. You should just put the ship on the topsail. Speed. Attend to the master's whistle. You should attend to the master's whistle. When the master is whistling, you should just attend. Lend your ears to your master's whistle. Exit mariners, and then the mariners, they just go away. Exit. Blow till thou burst thy wind, if room enough. So he says, so long as we have sea room, that is enough space to maneuver the ship without getting it stuck in shallow waters, you keep on blowing, keep on working, keep on blowing. Enter Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Ferdinand, Gonzalo, and others. And suddenly all these important characters, and they are the wrongdoers, the villains, children. They are the wrongdoers, and they are all together. They are introduced in the first very scene. They all enter onto the deck of the ship. Alonso, good bosun, have care. Where's the master? Play the men. So he just says that, bosun, have care, pay some attention. Where's the master gone? Where's the master, the commander of a merchant ship? Where is he? Play the men, show manly courage, please. Just go for showing some manly courage. Bosun, I pray now, keep below. So better be quiet, go down where your cabins are. Just keep below. Antonio, where is the master, bosun? Again, Antonio disturbs the bosun. Just tell, where is the commander? Just tell us. But bosun, he just wants to have control over the ship, and he shouts and tells that better you people go back to your cabin. Don't disturb us. Do you not hear him? You mar our labor. Keep your cabins. You do assist the storm. And then finally he says that, do you not hear him? You are the one. You are spoiling our labor. Keep your cabins. You do assist the storm. Go back to your cabins. Keep to your cabins. Go inside. Remain inside. Otherwise, you help the storm to destroy us. You are disturbing us. As a result, the storm will just overpower us, or it will destroy us. Gonzalo, nay, good, be patient. So finally, Gonzalo, he interferes and he said, good fellow, be patient. Don't shout at us. Please be patient. Then bosun, he says, when the sea is hence, what cares these roarers for the name of king? To cabin, silence, trouble us not. And bosun, he keeps on shouting, when the sea becomes calm, then I'll be patient, I'll be calm. Otherwise, just hence go away from here. What cares these roarers for the name of king? You people, why you people are just shouting? in the name of the king. To cabin, silence, trouble us not. Go back to your cabin. You just don't know about these roarers. Roarers means here the winds and the waves. They never care about the king. They never will be calm because of Alonso. They never know who the king is, what the king is, his significance, his importance. They never think about the king. To cabin, silence, trouble us not. So go back to your cabin and please don't trouble us, don't disturb us. Let us have some control over the ship. Gonzalo. Gonzalo is a little cool and calm person. Good, yet remember whom thou hast aboard. Good, chalo, let us but at least remember who are the people who are there aboard on the ship. You should remember that. That is the royal people. The king is there. We people are the member of royal council. So remember who are the people who are boarding the ship. And please control the ship too. Do your work. Bosun. None that I more love than myself. So he says that I don't remember anyone. I love myself. None that I more love than myself. That I am the one. I remember that I am also here on this ship. I never remember who the royal people are. You are a counselor. Then he bosun says, you are a counselor. If you can command these elements to silence, please command these elements. See how bosun is just addressing those people, those royal people. He is saying, just command these elements to silence. Tell them to be silent and work the peace of the present, and let us work. We will not hand a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, give thanks you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour, if it so happen. Cheerly, good hearts. So he says that please see that these people are silent, and let us work in peace. Use your authority. You are the counselor, so better use your post, your authority, and you tell them not to shout here, not to come here and shout, and please tell them to go back to their cabins. Then give thanks you have lived so long. You have lived so long. Give thanks to me. I have been just safeguarding you people. I have been controlling the ship. And make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour, and go back to your cabin and keep on just thinking about or ready yourself for the misfortune which can happen. Hap means which can happen. For the misfortune of the hour, if it so happen. If it so happen, then better just go for thinking about it. Make yourself ready. Cheerly, good hearts. Again he shouts at his sailors. Good hearts, brave sailors, cheerly, heartily, go for controlling the ship. Out of our way, I say. And then he says, go away from here. Please don't disturb us from controlling the ship. Exit. And he goes away. The bosun goes away. Gonzalo, I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he had no drowning mark upon him. So Gonzalo is just in this scene, children, which is a scene of chaos and confusion. Gonzalo, he is just providing us with some relief with his mocking. When he just goes for making some kind of this type of jokes, he is just providing the audience and the readers some relief. I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he had no drowning mark upon him. So he says that I'm drawing some comfort from this indication, that is it seems to me he is the one who is providing some comfort to us, and I think he had no drowning mark upon him. He never has ever drowned, or his ship have never drowned. He has brought all his ship from the storm. And I think I'm very sure about that he will control the ship, and he will just land us very, very safely to a safe place. His complexion is perfect gallows, and his general appearance is good indication of someone who deserves to be hanged. But he keeps on talking in a such a way that he deserves to be hanged. Like he keeps on saying that this man, how he is talking to the royal people, how he is saying that go back to your cabins, go back and go and sit and make yourself comfortable there. So he is someone who deserves to be hanged. Stand fast, good fate, to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable. For our own doth little advantage, if he be not born to be hanged, our case is miserable. So he says, I feel comforted by the presence of this man. I think there are no signs to show that he will be drawn, and we with him. His appearance shows that he will die by hanging. O fate, do not change the mode of his death, and do let him die by hanging. Why, children? Because he will, anyhow, before hanging children, he will be letting them very safe and sound to a safe place. Only his destiny, which is to die by hanging, can now save us. So, if it is written in his destiny that Bosun will die by hanging, that means we will be landed in a safe place. Then only he will be hanged by us. Because our own destiny can help us little. And Gonzalo is saying that our own destiny, we don't know. Our destiny might be that we will be getting drowned, so it can help us little. If this man is not to die by hanging on land, then we are doomed. And hope his destiny is that he should be hanged on land, that dry place, land, not on the sea. So if it is not so, then we are doomed. Then we have to just get ready to die. So today, children, this very first page, we will now in the next lecture, we'll go for the next page, children. And it's a small scene, and Act 1, Scene 1, it might come in your assessment. In your assessment, we'll go for the extract from Act 1, Scene 1. Thank you.